여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon So-hwa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in taking a deep dive into the heart of Korean culture, from K-entertainment to AI news and the latest in K-sports today with a focus on the FIFA World Cup. And with that, let's dive in. Joining us on today's show is Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. And hello to our K-Culture Dive viewers. I'm Bella Kim, back again to co-host and fill y'all in with some exciting K-entertainment news.
Okay, Bella, let's kick off not with football, but with a story on Korean films taking the stage in Prague.
Yes, that is correct. So the 2026 Prague Korean Film Festival wrapped up after drawing strong interest from local audiences. According to the Korean Embassy in the Czech Republic, the festival ran from June 18th to 20th at Prague's renowned Svetozor Cinema, and the event showcased 4 Korean films, including this year's box office hit, The King's Warden, which is 왕과 사는 남자 in Korean, along with The Ugly 얼굴, 야당 the Snitch, and also 하얼빈. One of the festival's highlight was a special talk session featuring actor Park Jung-min from the film The Ugly, and the response was wild. The Korean Embassy said the festival served as a meaningful opportunity to introduce the diversity and artistic excellence of Korean cinema to local viewers. The Prague Korean Film Festival is held every year to promote Korean films globally while strengthening culture exchange between Korea and the Czech Republic.
Now, for Korean viewers, Prague may bring back memories of the famous drama Lovers in Prague.
Right.
But now we're seeing how these Korean films and, of course, dramas are capturing the audiences in the Czech Republic. And also, just like K-films, K-pop is a rapidly growing niche in the Czech Republic, too. And that brings us to our next big K-pop story. We're talking BTS.
Yes. BTS's latest album, 아리랑, is earning major international acclaim, with leading music publications naming it one of the best albums of the first half of 2026. The US pop culture outlet Complex, the music magazine Rolling Stone, and the UK's New Musical Express have all included 아리랑 on their list of the best albums released in the first half of 2026.
So that is amazing, but what exactly did they say about the album?
Well, first, Rolling Stone described BTS's comeback as one of the biggest events in the global music industry this year, praising the album for blending Korean identity with outstanding musical craftsmanship. NME highlighted the group's ability to combine Korea's cultural heritage with a modern global sound. Other major publications, including The Telegraph and also Salon, recognized 아리랑 as one of the year's top albums, calling BTS not only K-pop's leading act, but also exceptional storytellers. 아리랑, released back in March, is BTS's first full-length album in nearly 4 years. It features 14 tracks exploring themes of identity, longing, and love. Even though it's been 3 months since the release of the album, we can't stop talking about it, and I'm sure we'll keep talking about it throughout the year and the rest of the year, and so on and so forth.
Yes, probably. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the World Cup, of course, with Jason in a bit as well. But this story is K-pop and World Cup related?
That's right. So Twice's Jihyo has joined a star-studded global music project celebrating the 2026 FIFA World Cup. JYP Entertainment announced that Jihyo is one of the featured artists for the song Follow Me, a global collaboration released on June 12th ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The project aims to bring together soccer fans and music lovers from around the world through a shared anthem. The song was led by Grammy Award-winning producer and songwriter Red One and features an international lineup of artists, including French Montana, Ludmilla, Adriana C, and also Twice Jihyo. Jihyo also featured in the official music video for the song, just released on Monday, alongside several football icons songs, including Brazilian football legend Ronaldo. And what I really loved about the music video was that it shows different parts of the world, including Korea as well. Jio continues to expand her global presence through solo projects and international collaborations while remaining active as a member of TWICE.
So first we had Lee performing at the World Cup stage, and now we have Jihyo participating in such a meaningful song. Well, thank you very much for those meaningful interviews, Bella, and stick around.
Will do.
All right, now it's time to go over to our AI anchor Arang for more on the culture front. Arang.
Thanks, Swa. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. South Korea is renewing its partnership with UNESCO to help address challenges surrounding World Heritage sites that span national borders. The Korea Heritage Service announced that it signed a renewed Memorandum of Understanding on the Transboundary Heritage Trust Fund with UNESCO at the organization's headquarters in Paris last Friday. Under the agreement, the agency will contribute a total of 5.5 billion won, or nearly $3.6 million over the next 5 years to help mitigate heritage conflicts while launching new projects to address the impacts of climate change. It previously provided the same amount between 2021 and 2025 to support the identification and inscription of transboundary heritage sites in Asia. South Korea has launched its largest ever fund aimed at supporting K-games from the early stages of development through their growth into globally recognized intellectual properties. The Culture Ministry announced that it has established a fund worth 120 billion won, or around $78 million, in collaboration with game developer Nexon and fund manager Kona Venture Partners. The ministry plans to combine government policy financing with Nexon's industry expertise to identify and invest in promising intellectual properties. South Korea's largest book festival, the 2026 Seoul International Book Fair, will open on Wednesday at COEX in Seoul. Held under the theme Declaration of Humanity Homo du Jour, this year's event explores what it means to be human in the age of artificial intelligence. The 5-day fair, which runs through Sunday, will feature 538 publishers and related organizations from 18 countries, including South Korea. Organizers have scheduled 415 programs, ranging from author talks and seminars to exhibitions and cultural events. The fair has already generated strong public interest, with advance tickets selling at ahead of the opening. Organizers expect a total of 150,000 visitors during the event. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
In July, Korea's southern port city of Busan will host members of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee as they review nominations for new additions to the World Heritage list, including another 갯벌, or Korean tidal flat. Our Do Young-eun reports.
When the tide pulls back, vast tidal flats emerge, formed by sediment carried and deposited by tidal currents. This is Garorim Bay in Seosan, located on the western coast of Korea. It is the nation's largest marine protected area and is one of Korea's 갯벌, or tidal flats. Several of those tidal flats have been recognized by UNESCO World Heritage. And now Garorim Bay is also looking for UNESCO recognition.
This is Seosan's 갯벌, and it is our responsibility to protect it. We are very pleased about the UNESCO nomination and believe it is one way to pass on a clean and healthy marine environment to future generations. Local residents and fishermen are very supportive of the effort.
Local residents say preserving the tidal flats is about more than protecting nature. It is also about preserving a way of life that has sustained generations.
These tidal flats helped us raise our children and make a living. We catch octopus here and sell it. This place is truly a treasure. Even if there's nothing to eat at night, you can come here in the morning and earn enough for dinner.
When UNESCO inscribed 4 of Korea's tidal flats in 2021, it also pointed to an important task ahead, proving the ecological connectivity and integrity of the tidal flat ecosystem.
Migratory waterbirds depend on multiple tidal flats throughout their journey. If the second phase inscription is approved, Korea's tidal flats will be recognized not as isolated sites but as a single, integrated ecological network with outstanding universal value.
The final decision is expected to take place at the 48th session of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee, scheduled to take place in Busan next month. The outcome will mark an important step towards safeguarding Korea's one of the most valuable natural treasures. If approved, the expansion would recognize the ecological connectivity of Korea's tidal flat network, bringing greater international attention to the vital role these habitats play in sustaining global biodiversity. 조영은, 아리랑 뉴스, 서산.
A massive bridge slowly rises into the sky. Spanning the waters between Busan and Yeongdo, this bridge is more than a crossing. It is a monument to memory. Yeongdo Bridge, a landmark forever etched into the hearts of Koreans. In 1934, it became South Korea's first drawbridge, lifting one side high above the water to let ships pass beneath. Each opening drew crowds of spectators. Tens of thousands gathered to witness the marvel. But the bridge would soon come to symbolize something far greater. 1950, the Korean War. As refugees fled south through the chaos of war, Busan became the nation's final refuge. And amid the desperation, one promise echoed across countless families.
우리 혹시 헤어지면 영도 다리에서 만나요.
The city's most recognizable landmark became a beacon of hope for families torn apart by war. Its railings bore witness to tears, prayers, and desperate reunions. The walls beneath it were filled with handwritten notices, searching for missing loved ones. 70 years later, the original bridge is gone, but its story remains. Rebuilt in the image of its predecessor, Yeongdo Bridge still opens today. And as it does, it lifts more than steel. It raises the memories of those who survived war, the promises of those who longed to meet again, and the history Koreans refused to forget. Standing over the sea, Yeongdo Bridge continues to connect more than two shores. It connects generations. It connects loss and hope. Yeongdo Bridge is a living reminder that even after the darkest chapters of history, hope can still rise. The FIFA World Cup continues to capture the attention of football fans around the world. And Korea now faces a pivotal moment in the tournament. To break down Korea's chances of reaching the round of 32 and bring us the latest from the sports world, we're joined once again by our sportscaster, Jason Lee. Welcome back, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, you'll have the latest on Team Korea at the World Cup in North America, but what else are you going to enlighten us about today?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, is there anything more important than Korea at the World Cup these days? Also coming up, I'll have details on their second game against Mexico, as well as a preview of their final group stage match, that, of course, against South Africa. I'm also going to let you know Korea's most likely second-round opponent. Of course, that's should they advance. Plus, I'll have updates on both the PGA as well as LPGA tours.
Okay, so, well, you said it. There seems to be nothing more important than Korea at the World Cup right now. But let's start with the game against Mexico. What happened?
Yeah, certainly very disappointing result. I'm sure by now you've probably already heard that Korea has lost 1-0 on a very unlucky goal, certainly. 4 minutes into the second half, keeper Kim Seung-gyu came out to play like a sky ball just near the penalty dot. But as he went to grab the ball, he stumbled over his own defender, Lee Gi-hyuk. Kim Seung-gyu then dropped the ball. Luis Romo was right there, and it turned out to be an easy goal because of the gaff. So there's not really, like a lot of things to unpack. There are a lot of things to unpack about this game. First off, there were a lot of momentum shifts throughout the game. I think Mexico clearly owned much of the early flow, but Korea really owned the latter part of the first half, and they just really couldn't score a goal when they had the opportunities. Son Heung-min almost scored on a chip shot into the empty net, but a Mexican defender made a great bicycle kick to keep the ball out of the net. Meanwhile, after the Mexican goal, they were definitely content to just sit back and defend. And hey, they did a good job of that for the most part as Korea dominated possession, but again, they just couldn't score the goal to tie things up. I would say that Korea definitely did not deserve to lose this game. I thought a draw would have been a fair result, but hey, mistakes are part of this game. That was clearly a very big mistake that happened in the Korean penalty box, so it is what it is. The last thing I will mention, though, is that both Lee Gang-in and Baek Sung-ho received yellow cards in this game, so both of them, along with Lee Gi-hyuk, will have to be very careful in the upcoming game against South Africa, because if they were to receive another card, then they would have to sit out an ensuing game, which of course is in the knockout phase, and competition should be much more difficult in those games.
Right. Mistakes are part of these games.
Unfortunately,
mistakes
it is.
are part of life.
Yeah.
But let's just hope that those mistakes don't repeat themselves.
Yes, for sure. So let's now talk about the preview of the upcoming game, the next game against South Africa. But before that, we want to talk about what everyone's probably curious about. So what are the chances of Korea advancing to the next round? So please run us down on different scenarios that's possible.
Yeah, they have a win against Czechia, a loss against Mexico. But, all things considered, their chances of advancing actually look really good. That's thanks to that 2-1 win against Czechia. But also, there was a 1-1 draw between Czechia and South Africa. So currently, Mexico automatically advances as the top team in Group A, while Korea is still in a very good position, 2 points ahead of both Czechia and South Africa. So what does that mean? The only way for Korea to be eliminated outright by finishing 4th in the group, that would mean that they would have to lose to South Africa and Czechia would have to beat Mexico. Let me tell you, that is highly unlikely. And even so, at least Korea owns their own destiny, and they're playing the worst team of their group in that match. So, like I said, again, very unlikely. Even a draw for Korea against South Africa would leave them 2nd place in the group. So that's even if Czechia were to beat Mexico. So even if Korea were to lose to South Africa, if Czechia only managed to tie against Mexico, Korea would still be 3rd in the group with 3 points and still have a very good chance of advancing as a top 8 3rd place team. So again, it's looking very good. Obviously, the most ideal outcome is for Korea to just go out and beat South Africa in the final game. Then you don't have to worry about anything else. They have destiny in their own hands. They just got to do their role in it.
Right. Very assuring to hear this.
Yes.
Yes.
High chance for Korea to advance to the next round.
A lot of experts were predicting they were giving them a 90% chance of advancing. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have to look out for that next game, which we'll be talking about right now. It's at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning here in Korean time. So what can we expect from that game?
So, yeah, against South Africa, as I mentioned, the only way that South Africa can advance is with a win. They have to beat Korea. So they're going to want to be very aggressive, especially in the early stages of this game. Korea only needs a draw, so they can afford to be more passive in this contest. So what does that mean strategically? Well, we haven't seen Jens Kastrup yet. He's more of a defensive midfielder, and of course, Korea has mostly been trailing in their games so far, so it's one of the reasons we haven't seen him. I'd like to see him maybe early on in this game or as a starter, just to hold the fort defensively, because that's the most important thing that Korea has to achieve. I have said before that, I would have started Cho Hyun-woo in goal over Kim Seung-kyu, and now I'm absolutely sure that that is the better choice, especially for this game. Not only because of, the goal against Mexico, but I think, again, that Cho Hyun-woo is better at preventing goals, and that should be their number one priority for this particular game. Also, for Kim Seung-kyu to allow the goal that he did, the way that it happened, it's not entirely his fault. I would call it a goalie error, but the kind of play that does, it can put a little bit of doubt in the keeper's psyche, maybe lower your confidence a little bit. So I think when you're considering two keepers that are about the same in ability anyways, go with the fresh start. And I think it just brings a new opportunity to the new keeper. I think Cho Hyun-woo is a better shot stopper anyways, so that's what I would do. One last message that I would give if I'm Hong Myung-bo, this would be specifically directed at Lee Gi-hyuk as well as Baek Seung-ho, but most importantly at Lee Kang-in. You absolutely cannot afford to take a yellow card because if they are going to advance to the next round and not have a player like Lee Kang-in available, it would make things very, very difficult for Korea to advance to the round of 16. So clearly, go out, at least tie the game. If you win, even better. But most importantly, we cannot afford another yellow card for a player like Lee Kang-in.
And now, Jason, the million-dollar question. So what is your score prediction for this upcoming match?
No disrespect to South Africa, but, they are a lower skilled team, especially in this group. I think Korea needs to really come back and show something after that loss to Mexico to bring confidence to the team. I thought, again, Korea didn't deserve to lose that game. So I think they can really go out and show their confidence. I am predicting a 3-1 win for Korea against South Africa. I think they are that skilled to be able to defeat them. I could see South Africa really trying to push aggressively and Korea being able to take advantage on the counterattack as well as some of the possession plays as well.
And Bella, what is your prediction?
I'm going to go with 2-0.
Oh, actually, that was what I was thinking.
Oh, really?
But then I'll go with 2-1. And we'll see what we talk about next week.
Yes, but all in the end, it's a win for Korea, right?
Of course. That's what we're all hoping for right now. Yes.
Once again, all they need is a tie to advance. So a win would just be gravy on top. And I think, like I said, a win is important in terms of getting their confidence up because their next game is going to be very important. And you want to go into that elimination stage game with confidence. A nice high-scoring win would provide that.
Definitely.
Course, yes. And so it looks like Korea has a very high chance of advancing to the next round of 32. So do we have any idea on who we'll be facing when we do advance to the next round?
Funny how you ask. I think it's not set in stone yet. Still, a lot can change, but we have a pretty good idea. So if Korea were to finish second in Group A, which is probably the most likely right now, what would happen is they would play the second place group in Group B, which includes Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and Bosnia-Herzegovina. So Canada and Switzerland currently top the group with a win and a draw each, and then they play each other 6 hours before Korea's match against South Africa. So even before Korea's game, we will know who they would play if they were to finish second, and it would most likely be the loser of the Canada-Switzerland game. And even if that game were to be a tie, Canada would actually win the group based on goal differential because they're 3 goals ahead of Switzerland in that category. So there's a better chance that Switzerland would be the second place second place team of Group B. And, there is an outside chance that Bosnia-Herzegovina or Qatar could place second, but it is significantly a long shot. So I think we could assume that Canada, but more likely Switzerland, would be the opponent for Korea if they do finish second in Group A.
That's what we are hoping for.
It's the most likely scenario as well.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, the World Cup is going to remain in full swing. But let's shift gears to where swings matter literally, to golf. So give us the updates on the PGA first and foremost.
Yeah, the PGA's U.S. Open just wrapped up, the third major of the season. And Tom Kim hasn't won a tournament since 2023, but hey, he finished third at the U.S. Open. He started the final round 6 strokes behind the eventual winner, Wyndham Clark. He was actually tied for second, way behind, but he actually got to within 3 strokes of the winner. And let me tell you, what a story it would have been if he would have been able to pull off the win, because the final round was actually played on Tom Kim's 24th birthday. So a good day for him. Regardless, not a bad birthday present by finishing third, which is also his third top 10 finish at a PGA major. So a good weekend all around for Tom Kim.
Yeah. Great birthday for him. And we want to also talk about the LPGA as well. So how did Koreans do at the latest tournament?
Yeah, the LPGA's event on the weekend was the Meyer LPGA Classic, and actually not a great week for the Koreans. The top Korean finisher was Kang Min-ji, who finished in 5th place. Meanwhile, Lee So-mi was the only other top 10 finisher, as she tied for 10th. But hey, of course, next week is the Women's PGA Championship, so hopefully we'll have a good showing there by the Koreans.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason, for those updates. Let's hope that by next time we could talk about the knockout rounds of the World Cup. And yeah, let's have fun during the game in a few days and root for Team Korea.
대한민국.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Bella. As always, we're going to have you back here later this week.
Yes, I'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving.